2 power polls in one day. What is this world coming to, Jody Jackson?
I don't know. It's a lot of lists here in this show.
It is. Well, I'll tell you what.
Ranking people, ranking teams, but this is good stuff. This is good debate.
This is the right time. We never compare when we do these during the break ahead of time, but I could hear you over there talking to yourself as I was
do we have the same people here?
I don't know that we do now that I hear some of the names. Look, the topic here is most impactful Diamondbacks so far in these playoffs, which has only been 4 games, but it feels like it's been like a dozen at least.
Yeah.
So we will count up from number 5. There's a lot of different ways to go with this, and I will be altering my list as we go, actually, but that's why I'm going to make you go first because you're the guest. All right.
So this is number 5.
This is number 5.
Number 5.
I'm going to go with Alec Thomas. I had 3 on my 5. I had the 4 cemented, and then I had 3 different guys in the mix for my number 5. If I'm allowed to, so I'm turning this into really 8, okay? So I had Lourdes Gurriel Jr., Paul Sewald, and Alec Thomas, and I kind of like the defense that he brings, and then the 2 homers, and I like the progression of what Alec's been doing in the big moments here. I'm going Alec Thomas.
I, as you were talking, switched my list 6 more times. Okay.
This is a good problem, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, you don't want to be like, well, we've got 1 player and the season's been over for a month. We wouldn't be playing this game if the D-backs weren't in the playoffs right now in the position they're in. Can I go here with my pick? Not hitting great.
It's hard to rank them, actually.
It is. Well, in the rule, and I should have said this, you can't just say bullpen. Like, if you're going to go bullpen, you got to
name names, right?
You know what I'm going to do at number 5, and I'm pretty sure he's not on your list.
Okay.
I'm actually going to go with Ketel Marte.
That's a good one.
Because it's not like his average has been amazing. He's hitting 278, that's fine. But the home run, he has 1 home run, but it was very impactful. He's got 9 total bases. That's 3rd on the team. I just feel like he's coming up in big moments and delivering, making some plays in the field. But like you said, you could probably do this list 1 through 12 and come up with good ones. I'm going to go Ketel at number 5. Okay?
That's a good one.
Now I'm going to buy time until I can find the sounder.
Number 4.
A little bit of a tail on that
Electricity there at the end, yeah.
Ryan Thompson. Did you have him too?
Yeah, I have him at number 4 too. Should we just take this as a team?
Yeah, I mean, he has gotten some huge outs in the middle of jams, and even when he himself had an error the other night, and then he gets a double play, gets Freddie Freeman to roll into a double play there. I mean, he's got the funky delivery. He throws strikes. He's been a great addition, and he is like, when Torrey has called his name so far, it's been just, hey, cleaning up whatever mess is out there or starting a clean inning. He's done the job.
Yeah, he's coming in some high leverage situations. In terms of bullpen, he's thrown more innings than anybody with 4 innings through these 4 games. He's appeared in 3 of the games. He has 3 holds in those 3 appearances if you're into that sort of thing. But it's what you just said. He's coming in key moments and getting out of jams. And some of those jams aren't even his doing. You know, he's getting out of somebody else's situation that they created. You know,
could the D-backs get out D brooms?
That was Eric Ruby, and I kind of like that, actually.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Are there going to be some brooms in the house tonight?
Somebody's got to bring one,
Can you bring those in?
I don't know.
In your clear bag?
As far as Thompson, though, the other part of this is he has been somebody that you can count on almost no matter what's going on. He's been able to step in there, and you got to have a guy like this. Like the teams that go deep in the playoffs, I've said this before, even if you're not a fan of that team, but you're just watching the playoffs, you start to get a sense of their relievers. And with the Diamondbacks, you're like, okay, Ginkel's going to be out there in the 8th, and Paul Sewald's going to be out there in the 9th, and Ryan Thompson's going to be out there if they're in trouble, and he keeps getting out of trouble.
Can I give an attachment to Ryan Thompson at number 4 is the schedule makers, because the off day allows him to be, I think, available again. I don't know. I mean, they have to check with these guys every day, see how they're feeling, how the arm's feeling. But the schedule has benefited the Diamondbacks.
The schedule has definitely benefited the Diamondbacks. All right, let's see. Go on to number 3 here.
Number 3.
I'm going to go with Merrill Kelly, and didn't let the Dodgers come back into that game. Yes, he had a big lead, but we finally got to see him in a postseason game, and he was waiting for that game 1 of the NLDS and didn't allow any bit of the Dodgers lineup to come back into that game. I know they had a huge lead, but still, I'd love to see it, and I'm looking forward to see him in the NLCS.
Wow, look at that.
I don't want to
emphasis.
see him again in this series because that would mean bad things.
Yeah, we don't need to see him until next week. Number 3 for me, I'm going to go with Paul Sewald. He has made 3 appearances. He has 3 saves. He has given up 0 runs. You could not ask any more from your closer, and what he's done for this bullpen since they brought him in and slipped everybody else into the positions they're supposed to be in that bullpen, it's been huge. But look, Jody, that's
a good one. Yeah, I have him on my list too.
We've been joking about this for a while, the Paul Sewald experience on this show of like, okay, here we go. It's the 9th inning. He's going to hit somebody. He's going to put a guy on third, and then he's going to get the save. He always gets the save, but he's going to get into some sticky situations too. If I remember right, he went 1-2-3 last game in the 9th inning.
Yes.
And I was
Clean.
in such shock that the game ended and the TV was over, and I'm just like, what just happened?
And they did, he didn't allow Mookie, by being clean with that inning, he didn't allow Mookie to come up there, and that's exactly what you needed to happen, you know. And that happens. Even the best closers allow a base runner. They face 4 guys, and it's okay. But I'm glad we didn't see Mookie there.
Feels like, me too.
In a 4-2 game.
Mookie means Freddie, and it's just not great. All right, on to number 2.
Number 2.
We might have the same top 2.
I'm going with, the top 2 I think might be kind of obvious. I don't know what order you have in. Maybe a different order, though.
Maybe.
I might be going different here. I'm going with Corbin Carroll at number 2.
Okay.
I know, it's really hard because
like
we had the Lou Gehrig comp yesterday with the production that he's had, and here I am picking him number 2, but I guess he could easily be number 1. But Corbin Carroll with his 500 batting average, 2 homers, I had it all listed out here. It's like big numbers. There's hits, walks, it's all 5 through 7. He's had walks, hits,
RBI, extra base hits, wins. Yeah.
And then just... Again, for me, it's more the feeling. When he comes up, or when he's coming up, when he's coming up in the next inning, you just feel like there's hope if you're down, or you can tack on if you're up. And, we know he does a nice job on defense as well, so.
It was 7 hits, 6 runs, 5 walks, 4 RBI, 14 wins, 3 extra base hits, and 2 home runs.
Yeah, there you go.
That was
I knew
the
it was
stat.
like 7-6-5, and I knew it was 7 hits, and then 5 walks. The walks have been just as impactful.
Well, yeah, when he gets on base, it's not just like some dude standing out there at first and then he turns around and goes in the dugout. He's probably going to steal second and get the third. Let the record show that being as good as Lou Gehrig only gets you number 2 on Jody's list. I will have Zach Gallen at number 2. He's 2-0. His first 2 playoff starts are both wins, and especially, last time out was huge. He hasn't been dominant by any means, but he has been, even when he's not at his best, he's 2-0 in the playoffs. So this is anybody who had any belief that this team could do some damage in the playoffs, they were hinging those hopes on the fact that Merrill Kelly and Zach Gallen were going to be, just absolutely difference makers, and they have been so far. On to number 1.
Number 1. Numero uno.
Unbelievable.
That's where I'm going, Zach Gallen. For a lot of the reasons you just mentioned, Luke, he, again, like Merrill Kelly, finally gets that chance to pitch in the postseason, and he has been up to the task. And yes, that first outing in Milwaukee, a little shaky early, a lot of pitches, and yet then was in control, and you really like to see that from him. And he was on the attack against the Dodgers at Dodger Stadium, which is exactly what he needed to do there, and got his first win at Dodger Stadium. Again, he's had some decent outings against them, but kind of got over that hump, and he's been exactly who they need him to be, and that isn't always the case with playoff pitchers. And I hate to take a shot at Clayton Kershaw because he's like one of the nicest humans, but he's a great example. He has not been at his best many times in the postseason. Things change in the postseason. The pressure gets to some guys, and they just have a bad day. Zach Gallen knows there's no error, there's no room for a bad day.
Yeah, no, it's you can't go wrong really with either of these top 2. I'm going to go with Corbin Carroll for pretty much all the reasons you laid out before, and I'll just tack on that he drove in their first 2 runs of these playoffs, and so much of this experience is new for all these guys, and even those of us watching, right, with the D-backs. It's been a while, but to break up Corbin Burns' really good starts in Game 1 of the wild card series and really just get things going and not look back. I mean, the guy's hitting 500. He's been on base 12 times already in 4 games. If we were doing a list of the top 5 players in the majors right now in the playoffs, he might be number 1.